Welcome to another One Punch Man The Strongest video. Today's video will be a guide on World Disaster, where I will be providing lineups and strategies to defeat the Friday boss Centichoro, as well as the do's and don'ts for which rewards to go for, and general tips that I have. So firstly, always do your scans, as they have a chance to provide the Berserk buff to your entire team, which provides an extra 20% damage. There are 3 scans that are free every time before fighting the boss, so always do them as they are able to stack the amount of extra bonus damage, which is very good. Don't ever spend gems to do more than 3 scans, as this game mode isn't worth wasting your gems on. This game mode will only take about 5 to 10 minutes of your time each second day, so it isn't the end of the world if you didn't get any Berserk buffs. So there are 3 bosses in total that happen every second day. So the Monday boss is Centichoro. The main takeaways from this boss is that his passive gives him Berserk during phase 2. His ult will deal 600k damage towards your entire team, which includes his Berserk passive. However, he is weak to Shatter, so having a Shatter unit such as King, G4, etc. in your lineup will be useful. Then, the Wednesday boss is Senpai. The main takeaways from this boss is that his passive gives him a 50% chance to follow up throughout all phases, as well as getting Berserk during phase 2. His ult will deal 800k damage to your entire team, which includes his Berserk passive. However, his ult in phase 2 will inflict corrosion to your whole team, and in phase 3 his ult will inflict injury to your whole team. He is, however, weak to injury, unironically, so using a couple units such as Amai and Beast King will be very handy. Then finally, Friday contains the final boss, Centichoro. The main takeaways from this boss is that his passive gives him Berserk during phase 2, as well as damage reflect in phase 3, so he's basically like Carnage Kabuto. His ult will deal 900k damage to your entire team, which includes his Berserk passive. However, both his ults will inflict shatter to your whole team, and he will do even more damage to your shattered units with his ult during phase 3. He is, however, weak to follow-up damage, so having Garo, Beast King, or even Flashy Flash if you have him, will be highly recommended. Now, I'll be going through my lineup and alternatives for Centichoro. Before attempting this boss, a minimum of 1 million HP is mandatory to survive his ults and debuffs. If you need to improve your HP stats, I would recommend investing 3-star exclusive badges on your units. And I would also recommend upgrading Chapter 12 from your memory cards. Then, work on Chapters 8 to 11 and go up to the 3rd picture, as they will provide HP for the 4 different types of units. So, this is what my lineup consists of for phase 1 and 2. Keep in mind that you will have to have a different team in phase 3, which I'll go through after. In my lineup, Zombie Man is a must-have as he will be the main healer and inflict injury on the boss. G4 is for his shatter. You can replace him with units such as Flashy Flash, King, Sonic, etc. Garo and Beast King are used for their follow-up passives, which Centichoro is weak against. If you don't have Garo, you can replace him with a heavy attacker like Boros, or Dr. Genis for his attack buff passive. Silverfang is used for his tenacity for the whole team, which is amazing. However, if you don't have him, Tank Talk Master is a good alternative since he will provide the whole row with tenacity, but make sure you use his ult first before anyone, and make sure you place him in the front row. Amai is used for his high damage output and injury. With your speed order, generally use your tenacity units first. Then everything else is really up to you. I would probably recommend using Zombie Man as the 3rd or 4th speed, but it doesn't really matter. It just depends on how fast you want him to heal your whole team. Anyways, let's begin. Firstly, I ult Garo for his internal injury. You don't have to ult him, but I will since I have the spare energy to, so I'll keep doing so. I ult G4 for his shatter and tenacity. Then, I ult Amai for his high damage output and injury. For everyone else, use their basic attacks. During the 2nd turn, I repeat the same thing as last turn, but this time use Zombie Man's ult as well, to keep healing your team whenever Centichoro ults. From now, you can skip the battle and move on to phase 2. At the start of Phase 2, make sure to use Garo's basic attack and instead use Zombie Man's ult in order to heal your team from now on, as the damage taken from Phase 1 carries on. You can switch back to using Garo's ult for round 2 and onwards. From here, repeat the same thing as Phase 1. Now, for Phase 3, most of your units will die due to Centichoro's damage deflect, so substitute your most tanky units in. If you have unyielding units such as Watchdog Man, Super Alloy Darkshine, or units that have it through their page 3 talents like Carnage Kabuto, use them. In my case, I am substituting Carnage Kabuto for Beast King, for his unyielding and survivability. Repeat the same steps for Phase 2, and make sure you ult Carnage Kabuto to heal him up. And that's how I beat Centichoro. So after finishing up the day, you can be granted rewards from 2 types of categories, being the weekly and hunting targets. These weekly rewards are given once you finish your 3 attempts for the day, and they reset every week. You also get rewards from scanning and buying something in the exchange shop, so remember to do that each week. And the hunting rewards are a one-time thing, so after you reach a certain damage milestone, you will be granted these rewards. You will be doing the most damage towards the Monday boss, Centichoro, so on Mondays use your most powerful units as he isn't as strong as Centichoro. Now, what should you spend each type of pearl on? With the bronze pearls, I recommend buying the red metal chests as they're the hardest to get. I would also buy the blue awakening discs since this will quicken getting your units to 4-star awakening. I would probably start purchasing these in a few months time when RMG comes out, as I want to get her the 5-star awakening as quickly as possible, so you can hold off until then. With the silver pearls, only buy the red qualifications since they're also hard to get. If you really need grappler badges since we are overwhelmed with the amount of grapplers in this game, then go ahead and buy them. Never buy the purple gear shards, please, for the love of God, they're not worth it, and the RNG for a good one is pretty shit. With the gold pearls, always buy the Star Ascension card, since we only get 1 each week. Also focus on getting these specific orange gear shards, since the range pool is much smaller and these gear bonuses are great for the future. And that's it for today's video. Sorry I lied about using a PC to record. The PC setup isn't mine, so I will only record on it when I have the time to, since I'm a pretty busy guy balancing university with leisure. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and feel free to comment down below on any questions about my video or possible future content. Until next time.